Have you heard anything from Bill about like what he wants to put forward, Jim?
I think what I have picked up from it, that with everything that's going on and all the different layers and Sanzar and the Six Nations and TV deals and all the different formats of the leagues and there not being a global season, that I don't think anyone makes a decision, really. That's what it seems like. It seems like they have these ideas, and we spoke to P-Show, and then I spoke to Tim, producer Tim, before that and after that, still trying to work out what P-Show would do in terms of changing it, but trying to ask questions what Bill has done as well in terms of the last 4 years and what he would do. Because I think at the minute, if we're getting into the crux of rugby, it is in such a fragile state that so many different governing bodies, the media side of things, the clubs, and this is just the Prem we're talking about, and we'll probably come on to the player division from Prem Rugby and the RPA and all these different things. Imagine being head of that, and all the stuff that's going on with the Pacific Islanders and the Fiji team and USA going under and financial problems. I mean, we ask the simple questions. Gus, what are you bringing to the table? Well, global season. We'll give more of a platform for the lesser nations. Bill wants to make the game safer. We're obviously joking about it, but that's clearly one of his things that he's passionate about. I tell you what, there is a lot more to migrate through before we get to that stage.
I think the point that you come back to, Jim, that you talked about is power, and what powers have they actually got? Because the big thing and the big question over Bill Beaumont and what he's done in these 4 years, and he's been very clever with one thing he said, I think, Bill. But the big question around him is, what has he done in the 4 years? What has changed? What has he actually implemented? And he talked a few things about the amount of women on the councils now, which is great, and trying to be more diverse around that. But what actually has he impacted on the rugby field, around the game? He talked about the World Cup in Japan that was already going ahead before he got voted in. But it was a very successful World Cup. But what changes have we seen? We haven't seen many, have we? We haven't seen anything advance in the global season, any of those talks. But what he did do, which I think was really intelligent, was say your second term is always way more successful in getting things done than your first term. So he's kind of put a subconscious message out there to all the people questioning what he's done in the first term by saying your second term, you settled into the job and you've always got a more advantageous position to be able to make change 4 years further down the line. So we shall see. I hope Pichot gets it. I really do. I think he can make change. I don't think he'll be able to make the radical changes as quickly as he wants to, because ultimately there's councils to go through. There is all the unions that have to agree things. The amount of movement there's got to be around this global season, that will take at least a year to implement itself. So I just think it is time for a new voice, and hopefully Pichot is the man.